The state says there was a clear political motive behind the murder of Health Department official and whistleblower Babita Deokaran. The bail application of the suspects has been postponed to the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court. Deokaran was a witness in the SIU's investigation into tender fraud relating to government's procurement of COVID-19 PPE. Our senior reporter Barry Bateman is following the story for us. He joins us now live. Barry, I'm sure you can tell it's the post-election fatigue on my side. But remind us again what the accused have told the court so far.
Yeah, good afternoon, Shahan. Well, earlier this week, we heard most of the four accused had presented their arguments. The gist of what they're saying is that the confessions that were taken from them were done so under duress. Accused number one went as far as to implicate former Health Minister Zweli Mkhize as having orchestrated or hired them to commit this murder. The accused say that they were tortured, they were assaulted, and they thought they were going to die. And in order to bring an end to this torture that they thought there was going to kill them, they confessed to the allegations which they say had been put to them by the Hawks. They say they had no knowledge of any conspiracy to kill Babita Deokaran, nor have they ever had been part of any plan to have her murdered, nor were they actually involved in the murder that took place.
Yeah, interesting, though, because the state is still opposing bail. They're insisting they actually have a strong case. So what evidence do they have?
Well, Shahan, what the state is saying is that, well, yeah, we are going to continue to rely on the confessions that were made, but they're saying we have corroborated not only what is in the confession, but we've managed to obtain the evidence which places the accused not just at the scene of crime on the day of the murder, but in the preceding days, when they say these were the scouting days, when they went out to Deokaran's house to, just have a look at the streets around there to make the plan. On the morning of the murder, there is CCTV footage that was taken at a nearby shopping centre where Babita Deokaran popped in to get some groceries. The vehicles that had been linked to this crime were at that shopping centre. Some of the accused went into the shopping centre with her just to keep an eye on her. There's also a cell phone that has been seized from one of the accused that has a photograph of the outside of Deokaran's home, which all goes to this idea and it puts them in the scene, it puts them as part of the planning. But on that other important aspect that came out, the state introduced this idea. They say that there is strong evidence to suggest that this murder was politically motivated. They didn't go into the details of that, but it certainly gives some insight into the crime, why the crime was committed, considering the investigations Babita Deokaran was involved in.
Yeah, and then things took an interesting turn, right, when the defense actually asked that they make a submission in camera. What was that about?
Yeah, very interesting. It was just after the last affidavit was read into the record, the instructing attorney, the advocate told the court the instructing attorney had received an urgent phone call that he needed to take. He excused himself from the court. It was shortly thereafter we heard that apparently the attorneys from Zweli Mkhize's attorneys had got hold of the defense team. They want to submit an affidavit, which they would say that the former minister, has nothing to do with this. Remember, he's been implicated by these accused. The state was asked, whether they would have any objection to that, because they were also asked whether or not to confirm whether Mkhize is a suspect or not. The state said, we're not obliged to tell you that, but what we can tell you, his name is in the docket, therefore he's a potential witness, and if you contact a potential witness, that could amount to defeating the ends of justice. The defense put up their hand and said, we won't be speaking to them.
Yeah, never a dull day in our courts as well. Politics, everything in South Africa. Our senior reporter, Barry Bateman, thanks for the update. Appreciate it.